Welcome home, Bitcoin truth seekers. It is Sunday, April 3rd, 12:30 p.m. here in the Arizona desert, and it's an interesting day. Sorry, no daily view yesterday. I don't think I did one. So today we're looking at a low energy Bitcoin, low energy crypto market with definitely some sparkiness. It appears that we're setting up maybe for a pretty good Monday. So let's just rock through and check it out. First, a little bit of news that's interesting. German retailers to increase food prices by 20 to 50% on Monday. Now, this is not all food. This is just, I think, about 400 items from what I saw in this article. I mean, you can dive into this as deep as you want, but in general, uh, there you go. No sense to dive into it. All depends on how you're seeing things. It's a shame. Sorry, German people. But that's the way things go right now for a variety of reasons. A paradigm shift Western media hasn't grasped yet. Russian ruble relaunched, linked to gold and commodities. Now, this has got a lot to do with what's happening here in Germany with the 20 to 50% increase in prices. Of course, also, if you follow Adapt 2030 on YouTube, David Dubine, then you know that we have a grand solar minimum. Another one to follow is Ice Age Farmer on YouTube. Both those guys really are essential, and I'll link to them tomorrow, their latest videos. I'll put them in the chat and post them over at Daily View chat and such like that. Yeah, I'm working on getting kind of an RSS feed going so I could maybe update people a little bit easier, but right now don't have that quite yet. So paradigm shift, like I say, the Western media hasn't grasped yet, and I think really the Western media, well, really the Western government has not uh, grasped yet, not really the United States nor any of the EU nations really. And when you look at a lot of the press releases that they're putting forth right now, they're very kind of preachy, like, we expect you to. It sounds like, a lord speaking to the peasants. They I have found that they don't really have the ability to do international diplomacy because it's always been like, we'll sanction you, we'll bomb you, whatever. But what happens when when the sanctions don't have much effect, when you've been plotted against probably for 70 years, and talking down to people doesn't matter. And even if you own the mainstream media and you demonize other nations, what if it doesn't work? So we have a lot going on right now, and it's an interesting time. Maybe you feel it this weekend. Personally, I feel a lot of intensity this weekend. Um, so what does this mean for the ruble? Linking the ruble to gold via Bank of Russia's fixed price, which is, I think, about like 5,000 rubles per gram, I believe is what it was. Fixed price has now put a floor under the ruble versus USD rate, and thereby stabilized and strengthened the ruble. So also mention this part right here, which has value. If a majority of the international trading system begins accepting these rubles for commodity payment arrangements, this could propel the Russian ruble to becoming a major global currency. Well, if you've been following the events in Ukraine and such like that, and especially the relationship between China and Russia, um, there's no if. This is already happening. The BRIC nations are already moving forward with this. Like I say, America's losing a lot of friends, and even our friends like Germany are definitely suffering right now. So anyway, it's kind of like the globalist versus the BRIC nations. And here's one, speaking of globalists, Hillary Clinton does not believe Putin should be let back into the New World Order. Now it's time to double down. She didn't actually technically say that. This total soy boy cuck. This guy, I forget who even has this show. I forget who it is. What's this guy's name? Anyway, yeah, during the course of the interview, Todd asked Clinton if Russia should be let back into the New World Order. Anyway, I think it's Chuck Todd's the guy's name. Anyway, um, she didn't really say that. She said that Russia should not be allowed in, unless they change their behavior. So she didn't quite go there, but it's interesting, signaling. Anyway, that's about it. So, a little bit of saber rattling. It's kind of funny. Put that in the live chat. It's kind of funny where I think what was that guy's name? What's this little character for? And yeah, NBC News, Meet the Press. What's that guy's name? Chuck Todd or something like that. Anyway, I found it very funny just that Miss Hillary there could not go there and actually say that no, we shouldn't let Putin back in. She kind of said no, Russia. It's just interesting. Um, anyway, I would say that a lot of like the big time globalists are in a little bit of a disarray right now, and their usual preachiness and ability to bomb their adversaries has not been working. So anyway, if I sound like I'm anti-American, I'm not. I'm totally America as F, and very patriotic. Love my country. What I don't love is globalists, and I don't love NATO, and I don't love this lady. So anyway, the fact that they are in a disarray right now and unable to deal with the situation. And despite all of their trying to cancel a country, well, as you can see, retailers are increasing food prices by 20 to 50%. Yeah, well, Germany, if you want to keep playing the NATO game, let's see how that works out for you. How long can that be sustained before you got the old guillotines rolling out again? Anyway, Justin, Dutch Railway Network completely halted until Monday morning due to major IT failure, according to local media. Well, that's interesting because also in the last day or so, you've had supposedly a lot of airlines having problems and a lot of flights not happening, a lot of cancellations based on IT problems too, it was said. So, and this is funny. Justin, German Railway Network completely halted until Monday morning due to weather. It's raining, according to local media. So, is that great big cyber attack that has been rumored by Mr. Schwab, is that starting to happen? It seems like these systems that are not necessarily connected are having problems. It's all kind of alleged. I haven't really found a lot of evidence for it in the mainstream media, but I have been looking. So definitely some computer issues this weekend, possibly computer issues this weekend affecting air travel and railways, at least in Germany. Looking at how is the war with you, how is the Russia-Ukraine conflict going? As you can see, I won't go through this again. If you guys want to check it out, I will put copy a link to this chart image, and you can look at it yourselves. I'll put it in the live chat if you so desire to see it. But basically, the ruble's almost regained everything it lost during the beginning of hostilities. So if you want to know who's winning, well, the ruble definitely is winning. No notable space weather right now to look at, so we'll just skip that part. 1.9 billion, or almost really an even 2 billion in volume last 24 hours on Bitcoin trade volume. This tends to be the most accurate, and it's looking that's not much volume whatsoever. Although it is Sunday, Bitcoin is at least holding sideways with a little bit of dumpiness, but it's all about how we roll into Monday. So right now we have very, very low Bitcoin trading volume. Over here on cryptometer.io, it says we have 3.1 billion. So it shows a bit more. I don't think it's as accurate, honestly, as Bitcoin trading volume. But where it is accurate is the changes. So definitely we have dropped 40% in volume last 24 hours. Looking at spot trading pairs for all spot pairs on these big exchanges, volume is not that bad. Well, let's say it's a little low. The trick is, it's not so much what is the volume right now, it's is it trending up or down? And as you can see by the red here, like here you see it, here you see it, here you see it. In general, definitely volume is down last 24 hours. And if you look at the volume graph here, you can see over the last 7 days, you can see all of them are really suddenly trailing down. So definitely volume is waning off as we roll into Monday. Derivatives, longs versus shorts, basically, well, longs and shorts, I should say, 44 billion. We're not even at 50 billion. You want to be at least 50 billion. 60 is better. 70 is rocking. So really, we're definitely low volume on derivatives on Binance explicitly, where I kind of get that measurement. Looking at Bitcoin and the top 100 last 24 hours, as you can see, really a mix of green, well, mostly red with a little bit of green here and there. Frax share, whatever that is. Maybe it's a crypto, a fracking based crypto. Wouldn't that be badass? FXS, whatever it is, up 23% today. Humans.ai heart up 11%. That sounds like some friggin' evil stuff, doesn't it? Anyway, I don't know these coins really. I know Near is pretty cool. Near is nice. It's up like 8%. We do have some coins that are making some moves. So in general, it's kind of a red day, basically because the market is just a bit volatile towards the downside today, as far as I can see. So let's look at refresh here. Blockchain whispers 63% long, 36% shorts. So definitely a long bias on Binance. But be careful for Bitcoin on Binance, but be careful because with this low volume, it's very easy for the whales to coordinate and wreck your butt. So be careful with your longs. Binance for Ethereum, 53% long, 46% short. So 53% long, 46% short for Ethereum. We'll see how that goes. A slight long bias. Just be careful. This is a pretty strong long bias for Bitcoin. And that does, especially with this incredibly low volume right now for Bitcoin trading volume explicitly, that is pure whale dump it territory. So watch out. You can get wicked out pretty easy. I'm not going to bother with the traditional stuff because it is weekend. But if we do look at Bitcoin versus USDT here on the daily, we're below the 200 moving average. We challenged it recently. We're staying above the 314 moving average. That's really great. But do look at the daily MACD. That tangent definitely now is moving towards the positive. We need a turnaround and we need it fast, or else definitely we're going to see more of a bearish sentiment for Bitcoin. So let's look at the MACD on the 2-hour chart. How's that looking? Right now, the MACD on the 2-hour chart is looking positive. It's cross positive. It's moving upwards. Okay, so with that happening in general, I think that we will see a positive move for Bitcoin, especially as we roll into Monday. Let's look at a 45-minute chart. As you can see, back here on the 31st of March, around 7:15 a.m., we definitely kind of dumped, got below the 200 and the 314. Now we're recovering. We kind of got above on the April 1st, 8 a.m. We got above. We kind of struggled for a while. We dumped again, 2nd of April, around 6:30 a.m. So anyway, we've been kind of ranging ever since then between the 200 and the 314. Let's see how this rolls, especially with a positive 2-hour MACD, and also looking at this recent wick above, a little bit of velocity there. Let's see how it rolls. The indicators are not looking that bad. They're kind of showing possibility of a nice little turn up happening. It's all about Monday morning. If we can break above or before then, it's 200 moving average, and then come down, find support, and start moving up. Really, for a good positive alt week, some strong alt trades, I really want to be above the 45-minute 200 moving average. That's kind of one of my little rules of thumb. So I like to be, because if you look here, like, even though it was very volatile in general, we had this nice 200 moving average cross here, and then we had this nice time above the 200 moving average on the 45-minute chart. So even though we kind of visited the 200 here, which was kind of a bad time right in this section here, really starting around like the 15th of March until now, you've had a pretty good time. Alts weren't quite so hard to profit on. If you're getting something good, you're getting something good. I'm just saying that, for me personally, my favorite kind of alt trading times are like right here. This nice sideways action right there. Maybe this kind of peak right here. But also you could tell that even when we were up here, you could see that by the directional index, you could tell we were getting ready for a dump, and the squeeze indicator wasn't very good. SMU binary candles went to the red. KRI really was not too perking. So anyway, and then of course here we definitely had a big sell-off, as you can see. So the chart will usually tell you what's going to happen, but if we could get above the 200 moving average and hold that as we roll into Monday, kind of get like a nice thing. What about like this, or get like more like this? Just want to get above there and stay there. When we're above like 12 or 24 hours, is when it's definitely time to start making those alt trades. I just personally find that alt trades are harder when Bitcoin's below the 200 moving average on the 45-minute charts. Let's see if we can break above that and just find some at least sideways once we get above. Even that would be good, or a nice gradual increase. So with that said, remember, what did I do there? Oh, sorry about that. I made a big boo-boo. One sec. Let me fix that if I can. Get this back in here. There you go. I'm seeing why I mentioned it being Sparky. So we're low volume. Bitcoin's definitely not where we want it. but looking at a lot of alts like Atom versus BTC. And I like Atom versus BTC because you can play it on a lot of exchanges, probably one that you trade on. If I look at this one here and do a Fibonacci sequence right on this green candle where it pumped on the 45-minute chart, you can see right now we're getting down to the 0.5 fib level. You can see where it kind of worked with the 618 golden pocket. This kind of fits, so definitely rolling into Monday after this kind of bursty aggressiveness, give this chart a little bit of time to cool off or get in a good spot. Definitely could see this guy bounce off the 0.5 or the 618 pocket and start moving up again. I'm definitely watching Atom BTC for a turn up after a reset, especially retest, especially if we go into Monday strong with a sideways Bitcoin above the 200 moving average. SHIB versus USDT. Just mentioning this here, this is the 4-hour chart. If I start kind of a fib sequence way back, like us, end of September 2021, we had that beautiful run up that kind of ended and started to dump around 27th of October 2021. And it's been giving it back for a long time. It has found a long road here, a long time of stability on the 786 fib level. Is it about to start moving up from there? Hard to tell. I'm just kind of keeping an eye on SHIB because I definitely think it's a very valid project. And once you get some upwards momentum, definitely this guy I think will be a player into 2022. But right now it's sideways at the 786 level. I can tell you that definitely a lot of believers in the SHIB project have been gathering nice and heavy right here. The only thing to remember is with SHIB, if you are a SHIB player, if you have confidence, then you're good to go. But really, if you get below the 786 and you get back down to where we started way back on the 27th of September, basically end of September, around like 690 sats. If we start hitting that level again, well, I don't know. SHIB might be kind of done for. It's given a lot back, but it's gone sideways. Let's see how it rolls. I mean, if we look at like a tighter time frame, a shorter time frame, how does this guy look here? I'll keep this short today. Let me just take a little bit more of a look at SHIB here. Use all my indicators real quick. Boom. Yeah, it's having a hard time. Let's see how it rolls. It has been keeping above the 200 moving average here on the 45-minute chart. It's been pushing pretty hard. It dumped with Bitcoin. It's kind of the same thing that Bitcoin's doing, but a slightly healthier chart here, SHIB versus USD. It needs to get above that 200 moving average, which is only 2,680 sats or so. Like it above there and hang in there. Anyway, I won't belabor this, but let's just see. Yeah, I don't know. SHIB's not looking too healthy. I mean, it's doing all right, but it's a matter of confidence whether this thing is going to move more. We'll have to just keep an eye on it. Right now, it's not doing bad, but it's not doing great either. You could almost get a little bit frisky here, and you could try a channel. You could almost kind of say like that was a channel that it recently kind of, and it's riding the bottom of it right now. It's below the bottom, but it's kind of hanging in there. Let's see if it can get above the 200 moving average and start moving again. If it gets above the 200 moving average, definitely I could see it having a little burst like this back to the top of this channel. We'll keep it on this channel and we'll see how it works throughout the week. I just mentioned SHIB because a lot of people that follow this are big time SHIBers, and right now I think it's a matter of confidence. If you believe in SHIB, you're in a good spot. If not, it's a little. I'd be feeling a little bit uneasy. Don't you want to see what happens if you don't give up? Well, don't give up. And remember that every Bitcoin Satoshi you own makes a piece of shit globalist cry. And we seriously need a lot of globalist tears right now because we're at a moment in history where it is us. It is the natural organic Bitcoin truth seekers with living spirits. And it is the globalists. So they're making their move, and be tough, hanging out there. I don't know about y'all, but I feel a serious, like, dense energy this weekend, and I think there's evil afoot, but also there's Bitcoin truth seekers. So organic humans, be strong, and I will see you Monday.